All right, guys, I'm here at CD Management with Allison, and she's going to be teaching us about the sales and marketing 6 wastes. We all know the 8 wastes, or you should. If you don't, go to the other videos. But the 8 wastes is, okay, I'm at my computer, right? I'm reaching forward, that's motion. I grab the mouse, that's motion and transportation. But we're not wasting all of our time there because we're in an office setting.
Yeah. And
so this is a completely different one. This is the sales and marketing wastes. So we're not going to waste any time. We're going to go ahead and let her take over. So I'll turn this around. Okay, all right, we have Allison here in sales and marketing, and she's going to tell us about the sales and marketing wastes. So what's going on?
Yeah, so we've always kind of found it hard to translate lean into the office. So we kind of had a brainstorm one day about what our sales and marketing wastes in our office. So what really is lean here? So we came up with these ideas. So the first one is underutilized skills. So one of the things that this came out of, the guys in design, they realised that they didn't really know each other well enough. So one guy was working on a project that they didn't realise one of the other team members should have been working on because he actually did that before in his degree. So they kind of had like a sit down and they presented their CV to each other. So that was really cool, and they realised that one of the guys, Gary, he should have been doing handsets because he did a module on that in university, but one of the other guys was working on it and he had no idea. So they did like presenting your CV to each other. So they did that over a series of like 6 weeks. So that's where that idea came from. So not sharing learnings and ideas across the team, and because we've got our improvement group chat, we've been doing a lot on our stream decks. Everyone knows about our stream decks and how cool they are, so loads of Yucatan improvements on those. So
do you have one you can
show? I have one you can show you now.
And you said Yucatan. For those who don't know what Yucatan is, what is that?
So it's like sharing ideas laterally across the organisation.
Meaning this department does something and you're going to teach maybe manufacturing or design. Yeah, so
it was design who came up with this improvement.
So this is a Steam Deck here.
Yeah.
The last time I was here, and this is for video gamers to like have health potions or something like that.
Yeah. So this was one of the things that design came up with. So when we search, we have loads of folders. So when we search for something, it takes a really long time. So if I go into my marketing drive and search for wastes, like look how long that takes to come up. Whereas if I looked for something else, like it's still loading. So I can't really click on this because it's still loading.
Right.
But if I go search everything, it's like an app, a free app. And if I just go in here, wastes, there they are straight away.
Wow.
That's how quick it is, like seconds.
Bam.
Whereas this one...
So you bound that to this.
Yep.
And you can set all this up. So these aren't static, right? Can you show us how these change?
Yeah, so you can change like this way, or you can set up a folder. So I have my own Lean Made Simple folder, so I can change all these.
Wow.
And then we have them all visual, so you know straight away. You don't need to like read each one to be like, which one is it?
Right.
So that was one of the Yucatan improvements we had. Like that's still loading.
And it's still loading.
It's still loading. That's how quick it is. Using this free app, it's called Search Everything. It was put in the group chat from design, and now we all have it on our stream decks.
And that was something from underutilized skills that you guys used, not just interdepartmentally, but by yourself.
Yeah, and where I had worked before, we'd always use like Hootsuite or like a social media scheduler. So when I came, we weren't using anything. So I kind of done a bit of research, and it turned out that our CRM, which is HubSpot, kind of feeds into this underutilized technology. It has its own built-in social media scheduler. So that was something that we were able to implement straight away, and it was completely free, just because of my own experience and then coming looking for it, and no one had really looked for it before. And then being difficult to do business with. So this was more come from customer services. So we want to be as easy to do business with as possible. So things like the number not being correct on the website or not easy to find, those are like really simple things that we can fix so that it's really easy to call us, it's really easy to contact us. So one of the improvements we made, I can show you again on the website if you wish, was our main customer is occupational therapists, and they don't have a lot of time, but we were asking them on the phone every day this list of questions, about 20 questions, but now we've put it on our website so they can do it themselves, so they can fill it in at their pleasure. And then when they submit it, all we have to do is call them back, confirm one or two details, and just say, is this time okay for you to come out? So this is so obvious on the website, book a free assessment, and there's all the details there they have to fill in. But we were asking that on the phone every day. So I think the girls have reduced it from 22 down to like 3 minutes.
Wow.
On the phone. So it's really great improvement. And even if they want to call, the number's really easily accessed there.
It's right there.
It's right there, yeah. So that was just another quick, like, easy to do business with improvement. And one of the improvements there is
You're
the phone.
making it easy for the customers to interact with
us,
you as sales and marketing.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we find is we're more direct contact with the customer. So maybe we can see that part a bit easier. So.
Wow.
And then the phone system's brand new as well. So we've put in a new phone system. Before you had to like type in you had to know their extension number to come up. So now everyone's name's there instead of their extension. And then ideally we'll eventually link it up with HubSpot so we can track who called, how long they were on the phone, and who did they get through to. And it means that the customer services were always answering phones for design, accounts, sales and marketing, whereas now they just press a button and they're straight through to us. So it's saving their time instead of cutting the middleman out, really.
They get the call and they just say, boom,
Yeah.
get it to the right people.
Yeah. So it's straight through to us now. They just go through to an automated call. It's like press 1 for customer service, 2 for design. I think we're 5 sales and marketing. So it means they don't have to answer the phone for us anymore.
Wow.
So it's saving their time, and now they can be really proactive in customer service rather than reactive.
Right. So they're going to say, oh, we get calls for 22 minutes. Let's come up with an idea.
Yeah, basically, yeah. How can we cut down the amount of time that we're on the phone? So
that one's being difficult to do business with.
Yeah.
And then what do you have next? Is vagueness of messaging?
Yeah, so this is something that we've been working on our brand messaging. Is we've always been kind of, our slogan is just ask the patient, but a lot of the time it's not the patient who is making the final decision for the chair, who is ringing the office. It's the occupational therapist or the carer. It's normally the caregiver. So we've kind of changed our message to that, because our whole CRM, there's about 70,000 contacts on them, and almost 70,000 of them are the caregiver. So we've always been talking to the patient, but we should really be talking to the caregiver.
Right, they're the decision maker.
Yeah, they're decision maker. Yeah, they're the person reading our emails, reading our social media posts. They're the people ringing the office. So we've kind of changed our messaging to be towards the caregiver.
So from a marketing perspective, you've re-evaluated your avatar as the caregiver, not as the customer, the end user. Not necessarily that it's not that.
Yeah.
It's that you need to educate those people the most, because they're your real audience.
Yeah.
And you didn't realize that before.
No, we never really realised that until the last Christmas, really. So the last 9 months.
Huge.
So that's been a real change of messaging for us.
And have you guys seen better results?
Yeah, 100%. When we're sending emails now, we can make it so much clearer because we know exactly who we're talking to, and our messaging is so much more on point. So it's made us easier for us and for our sales team on the road.
Well, it's an interesting point too, because from a customer, an end user perspective, the person who's going to sit in a chair, that person is going to be dealing with struggles and pains. It's the first time with them. When you solve it for them, it's done forever.
Yeah.
Versus the occupational therapist, that's their day in, day out job. So they have a different set of questions.
Yeah.
That's huge. You have underutilized technology?
Yeah. So we talked a wee bit about Stream Deck, and you can see as we're talking through them, they all feed into each other as well. Like one doesn't being difficult to do business with, becoming easier to do business with can fit in with utilising your technology to the best.
Right.
And making sure your messaging's on point. They all fit into each other. So underutilised technology. So our CRM, we've had 70,000 contacts, but a lot of them we integrated a free piece of software that showed up all our duplicates. So a lot of time, because our customer is the occupational therapist, if they move jobs, their email address changes.
But you didn't know.
But we didn't know that. So we've been able to put a big piece of technology which highlights potential duplicates. So it shows that this person has the same name and this person has the same name. They might be the same person, so do you want to merge them?
Right.
So that's kind of a really cool piece of technology. It means that we're reducing the number we're paying for, and then we're also got a full profile of that customer, so we can see move jobs in July 2023 use this email address now instead.
Wow.
And you can see their past record as well, so it's been really cool. And something before that really bugged our seating specialist was when they did a quote, they had to go into a separate system to do the quote, and then it didn't show up on our CRM. So when they were going into the CRM profile, they couldn't see the quote. The guys who were reporting on in customer services, they were then having to go into a different CRM. So we've just done a really quick fix at the bottom of the appointment reminder, and it's like just says complete your quote here. You use that quote, you use that link, and it connects the two profiles together. So for reporting, we just have to go into the one piece of software now, and we can see if the quote's been complete or not. So we don't have to go back and forth double checking, and then we can see on like the pipeline. We have a pipeline, and it's like appointment complete, quote complete, then it goes order confirmed. They had to manually change all those now, but now it's doing that itself. So they don't have to go in and do maybe, like last week we had like 100 assessments or something, so they had to do that for each one.
Wow.
Now it's doing it all by itself. So that's a really cool piece of technology we've implemented in the last 6 months or so.
And then you have 5 underutilized networks. What is that all about?
So kind of not using the networks that we have. We have 70,000 contacts, but we historically haven't been reaching out to all 70,000 of those. So a big project we did at the start of this year was working out what country they're in so that we can send the relevant message from the relevant person. So we operate across the UK, Ireland, Europe, Australia, Canada and the US. So our messaging is different in each country. The terminology is slightly different, but we hadn't really got those segmented out. So now we have our own UK marketing database, UK and Ireland, Europe marketing database, South Africa, Australia, and now we have a real breakdown of where all our contacts are from. Like South Africa, we didn't really think we had a massive database there, but we do. So we didn't know that before, so it's fully utilising the networks we have. When we go places, we're always asking now for testimonials. We did road shows across England this year, and at loads of the customers there have already used their chairs, so it's a great opportunity to get testimonials. So we had a form at the back of the room, and we just asked people to complete them, and in return they get a water bottle. So we got like 25 testimonials at each event, whereas before we had like 5 or 6 all together. So it was a really great way to fully utilise the people who are coming to those events in our full network. So it was amazing.
Wow.
So.
And the last one is missing opportunities.
Yep. So one of the things here is missing opportunities. So when we're going to events, we should be speaking at those events. That's one of the things we've picked up on. We went to an event recently in July, and Martin Tierney, he's one of the directors, he did a product pitch on the stage, and afterwards our stand was so busy. And it's kind of an event we've never really went to before. It's a different audience for us. And it really just showed the power of speaking at events. And now when we go to an event, we say, is there a speaking opportunity and can we get in there? So every event we go to now, we try and have a speaking opportunity, and it gets our message across to the whole audience rather than waiting at a stand for someone to come and see you. They've probably never heard of us before in most cases, so it's a great way to get our message out there.
Wow. And
then another one was a tender process. So a couple of years ago, we missed a really important tender because we didn't have the correct notifications set.
what's a tender?
A tender is like hard to describe. It's like a proposal to get like a group contract. Mm-hmm. So it's like a contract for maybe a group of 5 or 6 hospitals or for an area. So in this case, it was an area in England. And then we missed out on it, which means that we weren't able to sell chairs within that area for 3 years.
Wow.
So from that there, we've set up tender notifications, so they go to the accounts team and then they can send on to whoever they think is relevant to. So now we are in the process of gaining that tender back. So hopefully, fingers crossed, by the end of the year we will have that. So
that's huge.
So
all right. What's on here?
So the last sales and marketing waste, number 6, is missing opportunities. So this kind of came out of, we missed a tender process one year. So a tender is like a contract, and where we live in the United Kingdom, it's for normally a certain area. So we missed a tender for a certain area, which means we weren't able to sell our product there.
This is like distribution rights to a geographic region.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically, yeah. So we weren't able to sell our product there for 2 or 3 years because we weren't on the tender. So that's where this waste has come from, missing opportunities. So now we have our notifications set up for all the tenders across the UK, Ireland, America, and now we're able to, it comes through to the accounts team and they're able to say, yep, that's relevant for us, and then forward it on to our sales and marketing director, and then he's able to work on it with the appropriate salesperson. And then another one is missing a speaking opportunity. So we've kind of realised now going to events that speaking has become so important. You can be standing at exhibitions, loads of people do it. People don't know who you are and you're kind of waiting for them to come to you. This is a great way to get in front of them.
Right.
So whenever you're speaking, everyone's hearing your message. So we did an event in July. We have never attended it before. And we had 3 speaking opportunities actually at it, but the first one was a product pitch by our director, Martin. And afterwards our stand was so busy, people coming down to see us to know more about our product and what we're doing, whereas earlier that day it had been quite quiet. It was like 2 or 3 people at a time, whereas after that it was like 6 or 7.
So people were just walking around and stopping
Yeah.
in, versus after the speech it was boom, completely different.
Yeah, then they were fully engaged with us, they knew what we were about and they wanted to get involved, so that was a great opportunity to do that. And then similarly, missing a branding opportunities, really similar thing. Last year we do a massive event in the UK called the OT show, and we sponsored one of the theatres, and that was like a huge moment for us because even competitors, when they were on the stage, our logo was still there beside theirs.
Wow.
So it was just a great opportunity for us to be in front and centre of, it's a 2-day event, our logo was there all the time.
Wow. And Allison, what's one last thing you want the viewers to take away from your experience and your learnings around the sales and marketing wastes?
I think whenever we started to brainstorm doing this, when we sat in that room there, it's like our conference room,
Here's where the magic happened.
yeah, and we could have, once we got started, we could see lean wastes everywhere. Like once we started to talk about why don't we do this and why don't we do that, and why do we do this, and why are we talking to that customer but they don't get any of our emails, we could have went on for ages.
So similar to the 8 wastes, when you first learned to see the 8 wastes
Yeah.
in manufacturing,
Yeah,
everyone immediately comes with the ideas. Well, you identified and everyone learned the marketing and sales wastes,
yeah.
and that was the big difference.
Yeah, and I think everyone should have those conversations at the start, because it definitely got our full office team engaged. We're all on the same mindset now of what is waste in our area, really.
Huge.
It's quite different when you go to manufacturing, so it's a really great way for us to do this here. And I think the one thing that I really, really loved was the design guys doing their CV. Like it was like they kind of went for
Sharing
a
the
job
skills.
interview nearly. It was so cool. And I think for us, like in my team, we all have different specialisms, and by being able to do that, we were able to say, well, you enjoy doing that, so work away.
Wow.
And that was really cool.
Well, thank you, Allison. I appreciate it.
No worries.